Excellent. So greetings, everyone. I'm really bummed I can't be there in person. My name is Dan Tarshan. I'm the TVU regional sales executive based out of Chicago. Minneapolis is like a second city for me. I've been in a lot of sales organizations over the years and always held Minneapolis near and dear to my heart. First Avenue, all the good places downtown. So I apologize for not being able to be there in person, but I do appreciate the opportunity to speak to you for about 35, 40 minutes about TVU networks and the journey we've been on over the last 17 years of our corporate life. I'm going to spend most of the time going through a tech demo, showcasing some of our cloud-based technology that I think might be find useful. Then we're going to open it up, as Taylor mentioned, for some Q&A. And as follow-up from this, I'm happy to put this technology in anyone's hands for a period of time to go out and demo or evaluate and try to find some business justification to use these services. So given that I can't hear you all, I'll assume that the agenda I put up on the board is okay. Just do a quick interview or intro and overview, and then talk a little bit about just kind of the technology architecture that we have built over the last 5-7 years. That's a little bit different from what you might know us from in the marketplace. And then, like I said, go through the tech demo and then some next steps. So I'm using a mural board, and we use this as a collaboration tool for all our client engagements. First and foremost, I'll tell you a little bit about TVU Networks for those that aren't familiar with us. We've been around for 17 years. We started as kind of a point-to-point, point-to-multi-point video transmission company. We've got offices in 9 locations internationally, 2 locations here in the US, which is our headquarters in Silicon Valley, and our 24/7 support center that's down in Raleigh, North Carolina. Again, been around 17 years, really cut our teeth in the video transmission world. But really about 7 years ago, we started making a way to more cloud-based services. And really that came to mind from a problem statement that one of our partners gave us, which is, we do have some turnover at the station, and we can't readily train people to use the technology rapid enough or quickly enough to have them be effective. And we need more easier production tools in the cloud. And so one of the products you're going to see from us today is TVU Producer that we started creating, like I said, about 7 years ago. But really what catapulted our company, like most organizations that went through change when the pandemic broke out, excuse me, is it was able to catapult us into delivering solutions that our clients needed just to be successful and keep the operations running. Marrying on-premise and off-premise type capabilities over the last 3 years has kind of been our expertise. But I did want to, start with just telling you a little bit about the organization. And now I want to kind of jump into kind of how we're positioning ourselves in the marketplace moving forward. So really right now, we trend to not talk about products, we talk about solutions. And when we engage our clients, it's from the very beginning and usually starts with a problem statement. In other words, I gave you one example about training staff for cloud-based or easier workflows in production. But, a lot of our clients have been saying, I just don't have the resources to be able to staff productions. And so we feel that like talent, the actual talent can become the new operators of some productions if that technology is easy enough and simple enough to use. To actually build out a program. And we've really cut our teeth with some of our bigger partners in the digital and OTT space in some product experimentation. But everything starts with just the conception of what are you trying to accomplish and being open-ended with us in the beginning of a conversation. Once we identify kind of what you're trying to accomplish, then we enter in a consultation with you, and we don't charge for product development, right? We use Miro board like I'm using right now to deliver this presentation. We use it as a collaboration tool. And I'm going to go through a little bit about the backbone of our technology that allows us to rapidly develop and deploy new technologies and solutions for companies. But it all starts with an ongoing conversation. We're completely transparent throughout the process of development. We believe in minimal viable progress. In other words, do a little bit quickly, and all those little steps will add up to build out a solution to you. Gone are the days where we simply develop for the NAB show in Vegas, or promise and debut things at NAB and then deliver them by IBC. We do a follow the sun type mentality with all our solutions and architecture building right now, that literally we make minimal viable progress every day and deliver a lot of new customized solutions for our clients in a matter of a week or so. And then we're continually revolving our product, right? So the one thing that the cloud has allowed us to do is to rapidly spin up experimentation models for organizations and partners, and then build off of those. So we can try something, spin it up very quickly at a very, very low cost of entry. And once we identify what is successful, we can build off of that. And then you can only pay for what you use as you continue to use our solutions. So you'll hear a little bit more about our problem solving, but just wanted to kind of give that as an overview. Again, transparency is everything. We build everything out in the open. We believe that the quicker we can provide you with resources and executable actions and technology, the more successful you're going to be. We collaborate in real time via Miro. We open up Slack channels. And then we really, really focus on business model experimentation. So let me talk a little bit about our modern stack of technology. And believe me, I'm not going to go through all of this on the board, but I just wanted to kind of get you in the mindset of the solutions-based company that we have become. And I'm going to start down here on the bottom. We basically approach everybody with 4 persistent media pipelines, right? And that's video, audio, graphics, and data. And by data, I mean not just SCUDdy triggers or voice to text transcription, facial recognition. We have a lot of different capabilities, but then how you can use that data in real time to see that what you are creating is being effective. A lot of times it has to do with the monetization of the content and getting further approval to build out and expand upon those productions. But we take data very seriously, and and it's a thread throughout all our technologies that we bring together. But outside of those persistent pipelines, there's a lot of microservices. I mentioned SCUDdy triggers, I mentioned transcription, graphics. There's a lot of different microservices that are like our Lego blocks. So literally, once we kind of identify a project, we can pull these microservices to build a customized UI solution that's going to be tailored to meet your needs. And that allows us to develop very rapidly for not only the media and entertainment world, but the corporate world. We do a lot with law systems right now here, and lawyers that wanted to tape high-end depositions, and the user interface for all these different interactions, whether that be medical, whether it be transportation, they're all the same backbone of those 4 stable pipelines that I mentioned, but the UIs can be all different, a little bit different based upon the exact use case. So then we really create what we call applications, which are products. And I'm going to review some of those products with you today, but I just wanted to give you some insight as to how we compile those go-to-market solutions. And really, we believe that we have an open-ended ecosystem. So I'm sure you're familiar with some of our competitors' products. I'm going to talk a little bit about what we can take into our system, what we can send out of our system, and you'll see that it's a very open development system, because we believe that we're only as good as the APIs that we develop, so that we can integrate and work with a lot of different partners. And then we're really focused on the user experience. Everything we do has to be easy. I'm sure a few in the room have those, Kubernetes engineers that, have that high level expertise, but really what we've been developing again is more, easy to use technical operations for video deployment and production. And we also believe that the devices are being changing, like the IoT devices have to be easy to accommodate kind of the next generation of producers and production assistants that we're going to see in this space. So this is kind of a busy slide, but I just wanted to the cloud has allowed our partners to collaborate with third parties together, and we're able to spin up production environments that allows everyone to utilize certain aspects of their TVU infrastructure or a TVU infrastructure, and that can play across a number of different companies that we can spin up these environments, execute a production over a number of days, an event, weeks, and then we can spin it all down and everyone kind of goes their separate ways, either with their own TVU gear or otherwise. And we'll talk a little bit more about these and some use cases that I'm going to bring up here. But next, I just kind of want to show you the kind of current state. And off the left here, for those that are familiar with TVU networks, are kind of more of our hardware products. Like I said, we cut our teeth in point-to-point video transmission and over IP and cellular, and we still have all that, and we're developing for the next generation of technology, whether that's 5G, 4K, etc. And we all our devices from our hard gear, if you will, our hardware gear, connects and interchangeable in the cloud. But really what I wanted to focus on is on the top here, and I'm going to go through a couple of these products, is the micro applications that we were able to develop. So TVU MediaMind is our AI engine, which we could talk about our search capabilities, our voice to text, our facial recognition type services. And I'm really going to focus in on TVU Partyline, which is our collaboration bridge that has really helped throughout the pandemic, allow our customers to bring in remote commentators and guests straight into a video production. And I'll go through more of that in a little bit. TVU Producer is our cloud production toolkit in the cloud. You'll see that. And then I will spend a little bit time on TVU Channel, which is our scheduling and playout model. There's been a lot of conversations in the marketplace over the last year about fast channels and OTT and digital experimentation. And so with one of our partners, we actually developed a scheduling and playout system that we've rolled out to a couple of major networks, and probably more importantly, a lot of mid-size and startup companies that are looking to do more in the digital and OTT world. And then I'll probably spend a little bit of time on TVU Search as well. But just to give you, and again, I'm going to share this after the presentation if I haven't mentioned that as well, so you guys will be able to take a look at this. But really, we believe like the whole ecosystem has to be open and native, cloud native. So it's not just us putting our technology in the cloud. We are really rapidly developing and deploying in the cloud. And then you have to be able to experiment with distribution and monetization streams. So pretty much anything that comes into the cloud, I call it the alphabet soup of connectivity. It could be TVU products, or it could be RTMP, NDI, SRT. All that is going to be able to be brought into our our cloud environment. And the same thing on the output. We can make those connections to wherever it needs to go. So last but not least, just to kind of tee up like how, like I mentioned, like a couple of these solutions came to fruition at the beginning and the onset of the pandemic, and then just has grown since that. So, this is just TVU Partyline, which I'm going to demo for you guys first. I mean, that really came into inception right before the pandemic. We worked with Fox Broadcasting on a show out of LA called Fox Noir, where they literally just wanted to do a video call-in show, consider it like a radio show, but with video call-in. And they wanted to have the capabilities of being able to, number one, have people join from their phones, right? Because, everyone's got one of these. These are the best cameras you can have, is the one on you, right? So they wanted to be able for them to be able to join from their phones. They wanted to be able to skin it with their content. So we created an SDK. So literally where they could promote to their potential viewers and guests that you just go to the Fox Noir app to join the call. And it was just TVU Anywhere, our mobile app solution running in the background. But really, they want to be able to have like that green room environment where they can screen people and then send them directly into a production environment. And that's how TVU Partyline originated. And then once the pandemic hit, folks wanted to stop kind of doing technical gymnastics with Zoom and Skype and everything else to get people on air ready. So we kind of rolled out TVU Partyline as that collaboration bridge, which I'm going to show you here in a moment. But this chart is just really to show you kind of how it took off from 2020. Literally, we were the backbone for the Latin Grammys, for the NFL draft. ESPN used it extensively for the NBA draft. So it was very, very customizable, but yet scalable, right? So we were able to bring in a small infrastructure and scale it to the masses to do big, commercial productions. We also use TVU Partyline for fan experiences. So like we work with a number of teams, sports teams, college teams to broaden their scope of fan and sponsor and player interaction. We also deployed on-premise type productions through our kiosk mode. So, I'm happy to go through some of these use cases with you guys on one-off conversations, but just know that, again, what started out as a small request from one of our larger partners has exploded into a number of different technology solutions for our clients. So I'm just going to pause there, get a quick drink of water here. If there's any questions, Taylor, I know you probably wanted to wait till the end, but if there's any questions immediately, please let me know. Okay.
Don't see any hands up on our end.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to get out of the Miro board and start with, hopefully the screen share followed here. I believe so. So what I'm going to show you first is TVU Partyline. I just literally logged into an instance of AWS, and this is our collaboration tool. And what I'm showing you right now is the host UI. So what you're able to do with TVU Partyline is create a number of different bridges. And then these bridges can have certain rights to them. But in general, just know that I use it, if we were to meet one-off, I use it as our conference bridge. But right from this environment, I can send you into a production. So I just have myself spun up here as the host. I would simply just send out an invite by clicking up here. And then literally you have some safe security parameters that anyone with this link can join, only users added to the list can join, or you can actually have a passcode to put some security around it as well. So literally once you copy this, you just literally send out the link. You can use our TVU Anywhere app if you're joining from a mobile phone, from an experience on the browser. It's just using whatever cameras you have hooked up. You can use it from Chrome, from Firefox, from Internet Explorer. Literally just click that link and you can be brought into this. And just to demonstrate that, I'm going to bring in another feed of my TVU Anywhere app, just so I have two different video feeds. So literally, again, I just put that on my phone there, and now you have myself coming in here twice. Some other use cases for this or some features of it are, I could also have up to 30 people join the TVU Party Bridge, and we can all talk across one another. It's not like Zoom or Skype where someone dominates the conversation. I use the analogy of like the talking heads on sports. They're all talking one another. They're all coming through crystal clear. You can hear someone, you can see someone, but the best part about this is it's truly a collaboration bridge. So you can have your talent join it and send them right into a production. But you can also have producers and directors, an audio person, whoever you need could be a part of this collaboration tool to interact during the production from anywhere in the world, right? From here, you can elevate people to production crew, which gives them kind of one-off conversations that they could have with the people in the room. But from here, you literally can send people into a production environment. So if you have your TVU transceivers on property, you can send them directly to your servers. For baseband output within your studio, route it into your switcher, you're good to go. You can you could also send it straight into our cloud environment. And I just real quick have to start this back up again. Apologize for that. You can send it right into our cloud environment for production as well. So it gives you the flexibility if you need just cloud output or if you need baseband output, you can take it right here from the UI and send people into those environments. You also have control to rename them. You can also control their audio and their video settings if they give you that permission. So again, just helping people troubleshoot, especially if you have remote talent or guests that are joining for the first time, you want to be able to help them to troubleshoot right from the UI. Let's just see if this is spinning up. I apologize. It'll take a few minutes. Also from the UI, you can also have video return sent out to your guests. And so once a TV producer is done spinning up, I can send the program feedback to them. I can send the specific video feedback to them. All that will come right back through into the production. So part of this tool we use for what's called remote commentator. We had one of the soccer leagues come to us and say, listen, our commentators are not going to be on site. We need to bring them in, and we have to bring them in English and in Spanish. And so what we were able to do through TVU Partyline is have literally the guests, the commentators join and send them a video return feed of the production in such low latency, we're talking milliseconds, that they're able to do their commentator and have that audio stream go out over air. So there's a number, again, of different microservice applications that we have for Partyline. And we're just about spun up here. So what I'm spinning up here is, again, just in AWS, is what's called TVU Producer, which is our cloud production toolkit. And I think just because of the delay in getting started here, it times out after 15 minutes, just if there's no activity or no output. Okay, this is almost done. Must be consuming a lot of bandwidth here. Apologize here. Let me just relaunch this really quick. There we go. Okay. Apologies about that. So again, just literally spun up in AWS, an instance of TVU Producer. So I'll just do a quick review of this and I'll show you how they kind of synchronize between Partyline and Producer together. So first and foremost, there's a number of different sources you can add. And again, I kind of went over on one of the mural boards as to what type of sources we can take in. I'm going to start with that really quick. We can take in external IP sources. We can take in TVU Anywhere app, which is our mobile device. We can take in any of our cellular packs, our TVU One packs or M-Links. We have a product called TVU Grid that's point to multi-point distribution. You can bring in any of those feeds. We can do an RTMP push. We can do HTML. We can bring in Partyline, which I'm going to show you a little bit here. We can bring in Zixi pools. Again, pretty much the whole alphabet soup. We, again, try to be platform agnostic when we're talking about contribution mechanisms. But literally, you'll see here for Partyline, I can either push from Partyline into Producer or I can pull from Producer into Partyline. So I'm just going to show you a pull here. Literally just going to take my iPhone, add a source, and you'll see that populate here in a second. Some of the other feeds I have up is just one of our pack feeds coming in. I also am using an ABC News 1 feed. So you can see 8 different areas where you can have contribution sources. The 9th one is a clip player, which I'll go through in a little bit. Then we have an IP video source. As long as you have the true IP destination of a beauty cam, traffic cam, you can bring those in. And then I'm going to talk a little bit more about the custom video options of this as well. So literally you can see that from the link I sent out, you can see, except for the cell phone call coming in, apologize. And that killed my transmission. Okay, oh, no, there it goes again. Apologize, guys. It's hard to do when we're not in person. But anyway, so TVU Anywhere app feed is coming through. I'm going to go through a rundown on the left side here, just so you have a better understanding of kind of what the technology you can do. Let's start with the outputs first. Pretty much any type of destination is possible. You can simultaneously stream up to 6 simultaneous sites at one time. And we can send it back on premise for baseband output through our TVU Grid servers if you need baseband technology. As you can see, I've got my YouTube account paired, but really just to go through some of the destinations down here on the bottom. Again, it's the alphabet soup of what we could do, UDP, RTSP. And then being a Silicon Valley company, we authenticate and integrate with all the major social media. We can do Instagram, so if you need a vertical output, as opposed to horizontal, we can do that as well. Once you authenticate with your social media account, it just becomes another destination output that you would have up here. For overlays, we can do native graphics. We can just upload from the computer logos like I have there, or you can have a singular, we integrate with Singular, so your full Singular graphics package could also be uploaded into here, or we can just take it from a URL. Audio, there's a couple different ways, which I'll show you. We can handle audio, but you can simply do just audio follows video. You can pick out your audio sources, or there's a full mix minus panel. I clicked on the bottom there that I'll let populate here, and it gives you full mix minus capabilities. And the best part about TVU Producer is that you can literally have client specific or operator specific roles defined. So if I wanted to have someone do the video switching production and graphics, I can have someone handle that. I can send this link and have someone be our audio man. I can send a link and have someone do the clip player. So if you want to tee up client commercials or other type of video clips, you could have them run separately. So you can see I have all my sources here, and I have my full mix minus audio panel here. You have an intercom system, so you can have one-on-one conversations with anyone that's using TVU Anywhere or the TVU One Pack. We have a full microservice of SCUDdy decorations. So for monetization, we can send downstream all SCUDdy services that are pretty much definable. And then we also have integration for PTZ camera control. And this is what we built out with one of our partners who, again, wanted to have minimal operator involvement with some of these productions. We could have a full-fledged PTZ camera with Panasonic and Sony at this point. And then I talked a little bit about the clip player. I just have 3 clips up here. You can, have them rotate. You can have them in a loop. You can mark in, mark out, and edit them as needed. You can all just upload this to the cloud and have that be a viable source for you. So again, also you can have a break out the clip player separately. So that's a little bit about the left side of things. I jumped out right now because I wanted to show you how you set up TVU Producer real quick. So pretty much you can select any type of output format that you desire. You can select the number of audio channels you want, and then this is where you're able to select either enable your TVU solutions that you want to be able to use for it. As you can see, I have replay, Partyline checked, and then you just simply spin up the cloud service that's closest to you. We've got them all across the globe. So it's pretty easy to spin it up. And then you can have a number of different productions that you kind of have production templates for. So if you have a midday show that your digital team's doing, you can have that spun up. If you have a Saturday afternoon talk show, if you have the multi-cam production type show, you can spin up each of those cloud instances under one account. So as you'll see, it'll be very quick to go back in here just because it times out after 15 minutes. But everything that if I had an output going would have kept stable. Again, it's that stable video pipeline that we created that I talked to you about earlier. But those are just some of the high level capabilities. I also wanted to showcase the custom box because this literally allows you to do something like a side-by-side panel. You can have a rolling video background. There's a lot of different ways you can completely customize that. But for the video teams that are going to be doing some type of side-by-side interview, you'll see this will spin up here in a moment. You can have a number of different controllable players. So you can see I just took my source from source 8 here, and now you can see the production that's up there, which is just a side-by-side. And then there's a number of different shortcuts and keys, but you can literally just take it from preview to output. So I'm going to pause there just for a second and jump over to a couple of use cases, right? Because again, I'm happy to put this technology in your hands for you guys to try out, but let me just give you a few of the use cases that we see. So, from our media partners, we see midday type show productions that, originate on TVU Producer, are either sent baseband output for on air or sent then a follow-up hourly streams to their OTT and digital platforms. We see one-off high school football games from some mid-level type sports providers that are being utilized TVU Producer. We have a major sports streaming service company that's based out of Texas that's doing a lot of their B and C type productions with TVU Producer. Again, another sports example. And then just to come outside of verticals, I don't know if really everyone's in the room, but we have a medical facility that's doing all their town hall meetings and their monthly management calls that are originating from a number of different affiliate locations or campuses. They're having all those video feeds come in, and literally their AV team is just using TVU Producer for that output stream. So those are some of the use cases. So I wanted to go over one more board, and I'm doing pretty good on time here. We're about at the 30-minute mark. So I just wanted to show one other board here, and then we can open it up for some questions. Nope, hold on one second. I apologize. Okay. So, this is I'm hoping that most people in the room has had somewhat familiarity with TVU networks. And again, we kind of cut our teeth with this guy here, right? The TVU pack. And wanted just to spend a moment talking about some of the hardware capabilities or contributions sources from the field. So this is our 6 SIM, 6 modem, 5G ready. We usually ship out with 2 5G modems in there. Currently, but this can be used as your field encoder for video pack transmission. But it can also be used as a router. And what I mean by that is that literally you can use all 6 modem connections to aggregate for one IP address in the cloud. So this is kind of a dual purpose type piece of equipment where if you have just a need to have bandwidth on site as a workstation, or for instance, at like NAB, we power our trade show booth with our TVU one packs, our router packs, because we don't just want to pay the cost for an Ethernet drop, right? So just wanted to point that out, that while we have a lot of different video type transmission capabilities, it also is a dual type use for video transmission and as a TV router. And then just a little bit about our technology. Again, we talked about it. We technically do not do bonded cellular. We do IP cellular aggregation, which is just a little bit of our special sauce that we feel is a little bit more video transmission. It's a little bit more aggressive than some of our competitors. We feel like it's also a lot more efficient on data usage and actually video completion with less forward error correction. So I'll pause there just because, again, I apologize I'm not there in person. It's hard to read a room when we can't see anybody, but hopefully I've gone through kind of in a logical fashion some of the things we wanted to cover, but I'll open it up for questions here.
I'll ask one just for the sake of buying time. What kind of price points are we talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. Very good question. So, in complete transparency, like there's a lot of different models, but I'll kind of give you the lay of the land, right? Like, so for some of our cloud production capabilities, like TVU Producer, it's $35 an hour is the base price. It can scale up to $70 an hour, depending on some of the bells and whistles you would put on there. But, I probably should have started by saying that when I interviewed at TVU, and I've been here almost 4 years now, our CEO interviewed me, and I asked him, what was his vision for video production in the future? And he said, right now it's way too cost prohibitive to experiment in broadcast media. We have to bring that hourly cost of production down. He's like, and my goal is to get it $10 an hour. And I just laughed at him. I said, that's never going to happen, a $10 an hour video production. But in reality, human capital aside, we have a solution that's $35 an hour for video production. And that includes TVU Partyline, it includes TVU Anywhere connectivity from the mobile app. So the only scalable options that you would need is that if you wanted to utilize any other type of method to bring in video sources, or rent or lease or buy our hardware type of encoders to bring it to the cloud.
I'll ask one other just for fun. What's coming up next for TVU?
So that's really why I wanted to stress that we are a solutions-based company. So all the products that I talked about today and put up on the screen have all been specific problem statements by clients and their willingness to enter into collaboration with us. So what does the future bring is going to be kind of client dictated, right? Like we have some ideas of what we want to do to further integrate our technology as a backbone of maybe some other technology providers. But really it comes with what do our clients need from us? And if they're willing to go down that journey with us, like I said, the open collaboration that we have and the development cycle that literally can be on a day-by-day basis allows us really to deliver solutions very quickly, very efficiently, so that you can try new product experimentation. And we like to say we will win or fail in complete transparency and in front of everyone, because literally we're all going to be learning in this fast-paced changing environment. But we just know that the monetization side of production has to be able to keep up for new business model experimentation. I mean, I think the probably epitome example is what happened with CNN's OTT offering, right? Like they spent hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars in investment for an OTT that just did not take off, and most companies could not handle that type of hit. And who knows if they're going to be able to handle that in the future. But for that business model experimentation, partnering with someone like TVU would have been a lot more cost effective and got a lot more learning and metrics early on in the development cycle.
We had a question from the audience. Any kind of closed captioning integration?
Yeah, absolutely. Very good question. I should have pointed that out on when I was on TV producer there. Yeah, so we've got an AI engine in the cloud. Its backbone is Google, IBM, Watson, and then our own proprietary technology. With the amount of video that we have running through TVU cloud services, we're able to get a high 90s accuracy level for voice to text translation. And then in terms of whether that be closed captioning, baseband type server output, we have several clients that use us for their closed captioning. And the best part about that is that if they're already have closed captioning on 95% of the content that they're flowing through our TVU server, our technology can actually pick up where the gaps are in that transcription. And then we just charge you on a per minute basis to fill in those gaps. And then that exact type workflow is also available in the cloud, right? So coming out of TVU producer, and we support I think 120 different languages around the globe. But, if you need both English and Spanish type captioning on your output of a cloud-based production, TVU Transcriber is a viable microservice that we can put on pretty much any of our build outs.
Dan, I just have a anecdotal question. I'm curious. Just lost your video feed. I'm curious, are the windows on your left side or your right side? And there's a reason I ask.
Windows.
Yeah, the window in your background where you are sitting right now, are those windows to your left or to your right?
To my left.
Okay, the reason I ask is on another video screen where you had your video up, I noticed it was reversed. And I was just curious behind the explanation of that.
Interesting.
Where you were up there twice. Yeah,
Yep.
there was a mirror of you up there on the other source. I presume there's a way to switch that around.
Yeah, let's just do it here real quick. So I'm going to bring up my Partyline feed as one source. So you have the windows off on the left on that one, correct?
I believe so. Yes, well, in the box that you have down below, you're in number 3 source right now.
Correct.
You had you on number 1 where the ISS video clip is playing. You were reversed. And I was curious, okay, A, what's causing that reversal? And B, I presume there's a way to flip-flop that around or reverse that particular window.
Yep, I'm going to try to rejoin. It's going to ask me to. Hold on one second. I just downloaded.
In the window that's up currently, you are now flipped around and reversed. And I'm just, again, anecdotal because I've seen producers go crazy of, hey, he's holding up a card, he's backwards, it's backwards. How do you switch that? And is that by default that it's come up the way it is now, opposite of what it was previous?
Yeah, so this is the host UI, right? So this is the host UI. This would not be the contributing individual, right? It could be, it could be my own host,
Okay.
I guess. But yeah, so right now, if I point left, that's where my windows are, right? Is to the left there.
Right, and
So
it's on
even if
my
I do
left
that,
as I'm looking at you. And again, I was just, again, it was anecdotal, but I was kind of curious about that, in which POV I was looking at and why. So thank you.
yeah, I'm happy to follow up with you as well and jump on a call with you to further vet that. But I think what happened was that when I was using my TVU Anywhere app, I might have been using the front camera instead of the back camera. And the TVU Anywhere app has a lot of capabilities. I mean, we talk about develop, and I think just this year we've done 30 different releases of our video app technology on Android and on iOS. So it could have been that I was just using the front camera, which was different from the back camera, and it's even got the capability to use both at one time. But that might have been the flip that you saw on my second PID video. But just while we're talking about TV producer, I probably should have showed you this when I came out here. All these sources are recorded in the cloud for download and future use. So literally, right here is the demo that I'm doing today. You can see the date and timestamp, and this is both my program output and all my individual sources. So what I'll be able to do is when we're done here, I'll be able to download the file of both of my video sources, and I'll be able to look exactly what you guys were experiencing. Any other questions? They're both good ones.
Yep, give me a second here.
Yeah.
So I'm curious on how do you handle backhoe fade when you have an ISP disappear, like we've had at a couple different sites where, oh, look, we were digging a hole and we found this. Do you have some sort of stream splicing or some method of combining two different ISPs to, for redundancy?
Yes, for our TVU servers, they have that capability to have redundant paths of bandwidth on the back. You're just talking about our TVU servers, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that capability is built into our servers.
What about on the production side?
So if you're talking about in the cloud, then, because basically what I'm doing in the cloud right now is I'm just logged into AWS. So if your plant has redundancy built in, that I'm just running this on my MacBook Air, with an M1 chip in it. So as long as I'm connected to the internet, I'm going to be collaborating in real-time production. So everything is frame accurate, time locked within the cloud. So as long as I have connectivity to the cloud, and even like I think I was showing you, like if I would accidentally X out of producer, you're not losing the output, the streaming output. So literally by the time if I was to get a secondary connection, you can still see my cloud instance is still running. I'll go back in and everything will be exactly right where I left it. And the streaming output would never cease. The only thing we do have is if there's no streaming output, because I'm just showing you my preview window here. I don't really have an output to YouTube or a website. If there's no streaming output for 15 minutes, the producer instance does shut down. But for redundancy in the cloud, it's basically, what type of backup do you have on site?
Could you have two different control sites going at the same time? So if one went offline, the other could just continue running it?
Yeah, absolutely. You can have up to 4 collaborators at one time. And the way we do that is for, it doesn't have to be, but our logic behind it was for video, audio, graphics, and the clip player. So you can have 4 role designated responsibilities where that is their only responsibility, or you could have a total of 4 collaborators. And that just takes, obviously, communication regarding the workflow, right? Like if you have 2 people that have full access to utilize everything, at once. It's just that you got to have that real-time collaboration tool like TVU Partyline to be able to communicate while you're running the production.
All right, sir. I think we're satisfied in the room. So thank you very much for your time, and hope you get to feeling better. And once again, congratulations on being engaged recently.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. I'm super bummed, guys. I'm not up there in person. I am going to plan a trip up in the next couple of months. So I'm happy to stop by and join one of your meetings, even if I'm not presenting, just so I can meet some of your folks in person. Hopefully I know someone in the room and I just haven't said hi yet, but would love to get a list from you, Taylor, of everyone who's in the room. I'm happy to generate user accounts for anyone that wants to test our products. And by all means, if you want to have a one-off collaboration session, I'd love to talk to you about kind of the workflows that you guys are looking to instill in your facilities and see if TVU might be a fit.
Yeah, I'll get you a screenshot of the meeting roster that we have for today. So thanks again, and thank you very much for lunch, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Send me the bill.
Well, you won't have to worry about that part. All right, sir, we'll let you get back to it.
All right, guys. Thanks for your time, and apologies again. Look forward to meeting everyone down this long and winding road we work in.
All right. Get some rest, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care.